Okay, so I've been wanting to take a long drive, like a really decently long drive with the Model 3 Performance since I got it. So my wife has been talking about this little place in Pacific City, Oregon, this retreat hotel that her and her family used to go to when she was younger, kind of a nostalgia thing. And I've said, oh, it's kind of hard for us to get down there and blah, blah, blah. But secretly, I've been planning out a time to do it, and that time is now. It's going to be perfect. What if I were to tell you that days ago, I booked that lodge in Oregon?
Oh, you did?
I did.
Oh.
That's where we're going. So what do you think? Pretty pumped?
Yes.
Yeah. It's going to be awesome.
Thank you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. As you guys can see there, we are at 499.98 kilometers. Okay, so it is 3:28 in the morning. It's going to be a long day. We're sitting at looking at like maybe 800 kilometers to go today to get to our destination. And the girls here are tired, but look excited, so that's awesome. Okay, so here we are for the first range sit rep here. We're waiting to board the ferry, and we left the house about 498 kilometers of range, and we got here with 316. So that's about 184 kilometers or 182 kilometers used for 131 kilometers of actual distance traveled. So really, we're missing 50 kilometers of range there. So there's a couple reasons for that. One, it's super cold out, so the battery's cold. We're also running the heaters constantly. And then the other factor is we had to hurry up to get here because we did not want to miss this ferry. If we did, we'd be delayed like crazy. The good news here though is that we are going to be, it's looking like we're going to be on the upper deck here, which means we are allowed to stay in the car. That is critical. This is also where my paranoia kicks in huge because of the parking situation. I'm always so afraid of somebody like scratching up against the car.
Yes.
What is your road trip entertainment?
And knitting.
Knitting?
And this book.
And Lily, what do you have back there? You'll have to speak loudly.
I have sleeping and books.
You have sleeping and books. Those are your two. So basically we made it through the US border. That only took like 10 minutes. It was really, really fast. And now we're heading down to grab some delicious McDonald's breakfast. And we have about 600 kilometers ahead of us. So we'll probably get in around, 2, 3 o'clock in Pacific City, Oregon.
I have the magic shoes, which I am reading right now. And I have Archie comics.
Okay, so the next stop we have there is in Auburn, Washington. We'll be passing Seattle and getting through there. And then we'll probably charge once more in Portland. It says we'll get to Pacific City with 9%, but I'd rather charge up fully in Portland, and then we have some flexibility for taking a more scenic route. Okay, another point that I think is vital for this trip. If you go up to Canada and you go to McDonald's and you buy coffee, it's pretty good. This, I don't know what this is, but the American version of McDonald's coffee is not the same. Would you agree, Little Lemon?
Oh yes, I've become a coffee snob. 100%. Canadian McDonald's coffees is actually really good. It's better than Starbucks.
It is, for sure. It's so weird, right? So I'm gonna say, this drive is ridiculously easy with the US interstate system because the navigate on autopilot kind of does everything for you. Just occasionally touch the wheel and listen to music. It's wicked. Okay, so we're about to get to our first actual supercharger that was on the list. Now, we stopped at the one in Tawasin this morning just to top off because we were right there anyways, but we didn't actually require it. And now we're going to the first original one that we're going to, which would have been Auburn, Washington. Now, if we didn't stop at the Tawasin one, it would have had us stop just slightly earlier at the previous supercharger, but this one we're going to stay there for a little bit, and we'll probably only bring it up back to 80%.
Can I take my shoes off?
You can take your shoes off if you like. Yeah, absolutely. Here we are at the Auburn, just south of Seattle, the Auburn supercharger. And yeah, so far the economy has been kind of what I expected. I'd say the biggest hindrance to the economy of this car from what's rated is the driver. That's probably the biggest problem, is that if you're willing to go the speed limit, that's great. But if you want to go with the speed of traffic, or you want to use your right foot a little bit, then you're going to get slightly less range than what it predicts. But that's half of the fun of it, and that's also one of the huge benefits to the fact that these superchargers are every few hundred kilometers, so you never really have that range anxiety anyways. So you can do it as long as you're not in an area that's completely isolated. You can go pretty quick here and still be able to charge up. Okay, so for this one we've decided to stay a little bit longer. Now, we don't need that to complete our trip, but everyone in the car kind of needs a walk. So there's a mall right here, so we're gonna go inside, check it out, and I've set it just to charge to 100%. Now, we're not necessarily gonna be in there for like an hour. We're probably gonna do like a half hour or something like that and then come back. But this way I don't set it too low, because then the idle charges could start to accumulate when it's done. So Lemon, what was it you were saying earlier about people, the biggest limitation to people getting used to doing this sort of thing, like not having gas stations and stuff like that?
I think if you live in the US, you don't have to worry about gas stations and not being able to get anywhere. So probably the only limitation would be cost, purchase. But in Canada, like, you might also get people who want to be able to drive to the Yukon or something. Like
go to those kind of out there places, yeah. Right? So, little monster,
Yeah.
what do you think of the drive so far?
It's okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Lemon, have we lost you to US retail?
Yeah.
Well, it's packed now. Okay, so we are up to 86% now, and we're only 4 hours from our destination, and we're gonna stop once more just outside of Portland. take a look at that. 19 degrees right now. We have winter tires on here. It feels a little ridiculous since it's almost 20 degrees down here, but at least we're prepared. There's something so sweet about coming to a hotel that has Tesla chargers. Okay guys, so we are here at the hotel, and as you can tell, it is dark outside, so I don't think we'll be seeing any mountain beautiful views or ocean views or huge rocks or whatever else you have here, right?
Yeah.
So what is there outside there? What's our view we're meant to have?
A beach and like mounds. I don't know. You know, like cool.
Mounds. Very descriptive. Very descriptive. She's tired. She's unfed. The last meal she had was at McDonald's. So I'm going to go get both these girls fed. Lily, are you hungry?
Yeah.
Okay. And then, yeah, tomorrow we'll continue this adventure and do another 500 miles in the other direction. Wow, there we go. So, Lil, did you get a good sleep?
Yes.
Excited to explore around the town?
Yes.
Good morning, little lemon. What do you think?
It's nice. Yeah.
So did this satisfy your nostalgia?
Yes.
Was this like the same as you remembered it, or what?
Yes, I think so. Once we go on the beach too, because I remember walking on the beach.
Okay, we're gonna have to have some breakfast first, I think.
Yeah.
There's a cafe downstairs, you said?
It's a coffee shop right down there.
Okay, done. Sold. Okay, so the girls are gonna go get us checked out of the hotel, and I'm gonna go grab the car. It should be at probably 90%, that's what I set it to, so it should be there. And then we'll get back on the road and start exploring up the Oregon coast. Okay, so that was awesome. We got to 90% there, and now we have enough range to go kind of wherever we want. Time is money, kid. Let's do it. Oh, that's okay. I was gonna open it for you, but...
Still can.
Oh, wow. Okay, so far so good. You know what? Bugs, normal, but no huge nicks or scratches. This is with 500 miles down. We still have 500 more to go to get back, but nothing major, it looks like. So hopefully we'll be able to get through this trip with the car unscathed. Okay, so one of the huge benefits of today has been the conversation in this car. So very slowly, I've been talking about the Tesla truck, and then suddenly realizing Tasha's pretty down for it.
See how much it is.
But the concept here, let me just get this thing up to the right speed. The concept here was more that this truck, I bet I can make just as much money on the side as the payment would cost on the truck itself. And the other part is that we want to do, oh, big corner here. Let's see how the autopilot does. Another point here is that we definitely want to do a lot more touring in the States, but the biggest cost is the hotel. So with a trailer, it'd be way cheaper, right?
Yeah.
So that's one other thought we could have anyways, is that a Tesla truck, we could travel around the US without the need to be paying for hotel rooms. We just have to pay for a spot to stop for the night and plug in and stay in our trailer. So yeah, we'll have to math it out when the truck comes out, but maybe there will be another Tesla in our future. So we're just entering Seaside, Oregon, and we don't actually need to supercharge. We're still at 63%. We've really been great on the energy along the coast road here at the lower speeds. But it's time for a stretch and maybe another coffee, so we might as well plug into the supercharger here and bump it up to 80%. It'll only take a few minutes. Guess this is the drive-through. Nice. Not bad. 76 kilowatts. We'll just set it. Okay, so we just did some shopping, and it was great. It was a lot of fun. Yes, and Lily was the star of the show. And one of the reasons why we stop here in Oregon is because of what?
No sales tax.
No sales tax. What a great idea. So now we have to kind of beeline it over back to the middle of the state and then head up as fast as we can.
All right, let's see.
Okay, so interesting little glitch we found here. So we've gone in the web browser to select which port we're gonna go from, and it pops up here in my Speedo. So that's not gonna work. Okay, we have a great supercharger location here in Centralia. Tons of chargers, and they're pretty empty. So we discovered that all of the ferries going back to Vancouver Island that we normally take are actually completely closed for the night. So there's only one other ferry that goes from a different part of town to get back, and it leaves by 10 p.m. Now it's 6:33 now, but we still have to get all the way up there and hit the border and all of that. So right now we are in an absolute race to get back, and yeah, we're gonna have to still supercharge somehow in Blaine as well. So it's been an interesting hour to try to figure that all out, but hopefully Seattle traffic is not too nuts for too long, and we'll get through all this. Okay, so I know it's dark, but we are in a serious actual race against time here. It is 8:14 p.m. We have an 8% battery, and we're at the last charger before the border. So we're going to charge up as quick as we can and then get over to the ferry. Now, the ferry leaves at 10:10, and we still have to make it through the border. So I guess we'll see what happens. Okay, luckily this station is giving us a really good rate of charge. There's only one other Tesla here charging across the way. Hello, beautiful. Okay, so we just had a big win. What just happened, girls?
We made the ferry.
Okay, and what happened when you looked on the internet to see?
Said full standby only.
Yeah, so this ferry is leaving at 10:10. It is 9:40 right now. We may have used a bit of the accelerator pedal in order to get here. But yeah, we have made it to the ferry, and we just cracked over 1,500 kilometers on this road trip. Exhausted. How about you, little lady?
I am too.
Yes, okay. Yeah. Yeah, you made that on this trip, didn't you?
It's not done yet.
That's amazing. I am seriously exhausted. That was epic. This car, it's proven to me that EVs can really, I mean, for how many road trips I've taken in every car I've ever owned, was the one thing that really worried me was the thought that EVs maybe couldn't keep up with the charging, but this was easy. That was 1,000 miles in the last 2 days, and it was no problem.